Pete Hegseth gathering, a big meeting of generals from all over the world. They're coming in. They're going to be assembling in Virginia. And a lot of people are saying, like, what is this? What is this about? And we talked about this yesterday live on the show. I want to be careful in terms of my reporting and speculation on this, but a lot of the thinking is that this may actually be related to what we see going on in Russia right now and his frustration with one Vladimir Putin. In other words, enough is enough, right? And if you know Trump as I know him, and I met him years ago. I think the first time I ever met him was actually when his Atlantic City, I'll tell you when I first met him. Was when I was in the Miss America pageant, and he was actually one of the sponsors of the Miss America pageant. And at one point we went to the Trump Hotel in Atlantic City, and we all met him and shook his hand. He doesn't remember that, but anyway, I remember that. I've got a picture of myself with all the Trump billboard stuff behind me. So that was the first time I met him. I would have been about 19 years old or so, maybe 20. The first time I actually really met him and spoke with him and learned a little bit more about who he was actually years later when his Atlantic City casinos, including the one that I was in the Miss America pageant, declared bankruptcy. And so I was reporting for CBS at the time. And what I can just tell you, as I've gotten to know him over the years, I would say this is a man who really doesn't want to be invoking any kind of war or starting any kind of war or losing lives, but he also recognizes the importance of U.S. power and making sure that we preserve our reputation for having that power. So when you tell Vladimir Putin over and over and over again that you want to end this war, and he wants to end it, why? Because Donald Trump's looking at it and saying, hey, what are you doing? Why can't we just stop killing people and build an economy and everybody makes money and we're all good? Right? Because he's thinking about it very rationally. Vladimir Putin's not thinking about it rationally, in my estimation. I get, don't get me wrong. I get that he's worried about the incursion, right, closer and closer to Russia with NATO, and it's understandable. I mean, if China starts creeping into Mexico, we're going to get nervous too. But I think at this point, he's like, I've tried. I'm negotiating, and you're not negotiating. And so I think there's reason for us to be a little bit on high alert, knowing that Pete is bringing all of these people in. We'll see what comes of this. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll tell you what else I don't know. I don't know why the heck Sinclair decided to do what it did. Sinclair, right? Jimmy's non-apology the other night for Charlie Kirk. Sinclair Broadcasting has made a decision on what to do about Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm telling you, you're not going to like it. I certainly don't like it. Grumpy Cat likes it. Grumpy Cat, that's what I'm calling him. Yeah.
I don't care. How did Obama do?
Well,
listen,
I don't know when that was taken, but Grumpy Cat is going to get to live another day on Sinclair station. Sinclair has decided that they are going to bring him back. Jimmy Kimmel, who really couldn't even offer a decent apology. It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. Yeah, duh, buddy, duh. And then he went on to say, nor was it my intention to blame any specific group. What do you think? You actually blamed a specific group. You blamed MAGA for the actions of what was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. To some, my remarks felt either ill-timed or unclear. I get why you're upset. He never apologized. He never apologized to the family. It was not my intention to make light of the murder. Blah, 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 blah. We wanted an apology. We deserved an apology. Half of America loved Charlie. Actually, I'm going to go with more than half of America loved Charlie, okay? Because he was pretty special. And no one can fill his shoes. So there was no real apology. He never said, I was wrong. He didn't acknowledge any defamation or direct misleading statements. Instead, he focused on interpretation. And so Sinclair has made a decision on whether they're going to air him or not. They made a decision, and they are going with airing him. And this, in my estimation, is the wrong decision. I don't know what was going on in terms of background stuff vis-a-vis, was Bob Iger really putting the pressure on Sinclair? Were they threatening legal action? Because don't forget, there's a ton of contracts involved, and if you're an affiliate, you're supposed to take the content that they provide you. And if you don't, that comes with certain consequences. They may also be thinking about it this way. You know what, Jimmy? His ratings are in the tank. I mean, he is already a total disaster. He got like a one-day search, right? Because, people wanted to see what he was going to say. But that's it. Look at this number. Lost 32% among the key demo over the last couple of years. I mean, he's been hemorrhaging viewers. His contract is coming up relatively soon. So to a certain extent, I'm almost wondering here, do we see Jimmy Kimmel just leave more sort of graciously on his way out the door? And that way it doesn't become, about free speech and the president and the FCC. Do they just manage his exit? And was Sinclair part of that? I'm giving Sinclair the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But part of me is really angry with Sinclair right now. We'll see what Nexstar does on this. I'm certainly angry with Disney. You know that. Don't have a whole lot of use for Disney, which is a shame because I actually used to like it back in the day. I really did. Hey, reminder as we go into the weekend, we just put a new piece out on interest rates at 76research.com. I want you to go check that out. It's my company, 76research.com. Use code word dollar. You can get the newsletter for just $1 a month. It's really important. Take ownership of your finances, please. Even if you can only put $5, $10 a week into the markets, you want to be invested in this market. I do think there are good things ahead. I love having you guys all here. 1 million and still growing. Thanks for being here on the Trish Regan Show. A lot more content coming your way over the weekend, and I will see you live right here on Monday, if not Saturday. That's why you're going to hit the bell. See you soon.